Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of the Wolves Lockdown Pub Quiz, brought to you by Energy Angels and Tile Choice. Welcome once again to my living room. We are very much in lockdown, week 7, I think, of lockdown right now. We're all going a bit crazy without football, missing it massively. I know you will be as well. So what we've tried to do across the whole of the lockdown really is try to bring you some content, try to bring you things to do. And one of which is this quiz. Every Tuesday night, hopefully, fingers crossed, technology permitting, we will be here to bring you this quiz and a little bit of fun and hopefully something to pass the time, mainly, isn't it, really? So welcome again. If you are new to the Wolves quiz, welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. There are 8 rounds as ever, 52 points available. Every round has 5 questions. Some are worth more than others. We'll explain that as we go along tonight. Let me know you're here in the chat and we can give you some of your comments. Let me know your team names as well. Hello to David Beardsley, who I think was the first one in tonight. Sam says, evening, everybody. Harry Moore, hello to you. Hello to Ed, Alan, Andy Woggle, Andy Johns. You're in Amsterdam. Says, come on, you Wolves. Hello to you. Claire, Helen Beddoe, first time. Hello, thanks for joining us. Yeah, Harry says, Nuno had a dream. He did indeed. Henry Wolves Awi, Helena, hello to you. Hello to Lone Wolf in Suffolk. Mark Mia says Team Blakey are here. Sam Darby, hello to you. Nick Cooper as well. Lewis Penn, James Speedy, Cam Baz, Mitchell, Bethany Burke, Cardiff Wolves are in the house. David Beardsley says, once upon a time there was a tavern. Who else is here? Oh, there's loads of you coming through. Hello to you all, by the way. Bit of housekeeping beforehand. Please, please, please don't put the answers in the live chat. Write them down. What we will do is we'll go through 2 rounds at a time. Then we'll give you the answers for those 2 rounds. Keep your own scores as you go along. By all means, let me know the scores that you've got as we're going along, but don't put the answers into the live chat. It spoils it for everybody else who wants to try and have a go. Technically, it is a pub quiz. So once again, I will be indulging. You don't have to. It's not the law. Please drink responsibly. But yeah, enjoy yourselves. We will get going in just a second once we know that we've got plenty of people up and running, ready to go for this quiz. Once again, I should explain the backdrop here. This is actually how my house looks normally. I've not just put this, I mean, I put this bit together. This isn't normally there, but everything else is. So you got Kevin Foley. That's his away shirt from, I think, the League One season. That's a Rob Edwards Blackpool shirt up there. That's a Dave Edwards Shrewsbury shirt you can see behind me. Stephen Hunt, Wolves shirt. And the red shirt is Dean Lewington from MK Dons, who was a big pal of mine. I explained it last week. I started my career covering MK Dons. Unfortunately, Ian, I don't have enough to share. Restrictions on what you can buy at the supermarket and everything. So I've only got enough for me, I'm afraid. But, there might be someone out there that can help you out. Hopefully you are all looking out for people, friends and neighbours. And it's important, isn't it, really, during this period to kind of be there for each other and try and do as much as we can. Hence why we're trying to do this quiz for you. Right. Let's get going then. The Wolves Lockdown Pub Quiz, supported by Tile Choice and Energy Angels. Round 1 is, as ever, general Wolves knowledge. There is 1 point for every correct answer. Now, last week, it was quite a tough quiz. So this week, I've been a little bit more generous and given 1 or 2 easier questions in amongst it. Let's see how we get on. So question 1 of round 1. Let's get to it. In what part of Wolverhampton is the club's training ground located? In what part of Wolverhampton is the club's training ground located? That's question number 1 of round 1 on the quiz tonight. A lot of chat going on about frogs in the chat at the minute. Just me, don't know what that was about. John Benson says, come on, me babbies. Hopefully you'll be able to shout that for Molyneux pretty soon. Alex Clifford, amusing but not right in the chat. Number 2. 2 former Wolves players have coached the under-23 team this season. Name them both. 2 former Wolves players have coached the under-23 team this season. Can you name them both? And I do want both of them to be able to get a point. No half point available for this. I want both of those former Wolves players who've coached the under-23s this season. Big hello to Sheffield Wolves. Wishing everyone well. Thomas Darby, hello to you. Number 3. The 2003 playoff final is a memory that every Wolves fan will cherish. Beating Sheffield United 3-0. But who was the man of the match that day? So, the 2003 playoff final beat Sheffield United 3-0. But who was the man of the match? That's question number 3 of round 1. Question number 4. Wolves launched their Hall of Fame in 2009. There were 6 people admitted in the first year. I only need you to name me one of them. Wolves launched their Hall of Fame in 2009. 6 people were admitted in the first year. Can you name just one of them? I think the last time that we inducted someone was 2017. Amongst the intake in that year was a certain Andy Thompson, who, as ever, joins me this evening. All right, Tomo. Oh, yeah, I'm really pleased to be on the quiz again. It's great. Thanks, Tomo. He'll be keeping me company as ever. So that is question number 4. And question number 5 of round 1. Molyneux was redeveloped under Sir Jack Hayward in the early 90s, officially opening with a game on December 1993. But who were the opponents? So Molyneux redeveloped under Sir Jack in the early 90s. It officially opened with a game in December of 1993. But who were the opponents? Of course, as we've already talked about on the quiz in past weeks, the now Steve Bull stand used to be the John Island stand. That was redeveloped a long time before the 90s. I think 1979 it officially opened. But the North Bank and South Bank and the Billy Wright stand all redone in the early 1990s. So all I want you to tell me is who played in the official opening game in December 1993. That is round 1. Keep your answers to that handy. We will move on very shortly to round 2, which is the Where Am I round. We did this one last week, seemed to go down pretty well. I am going to read you out some clues. All I need you to do is tell me where I am. If you know the stadium name, brilliant, pop that down. But I will accept just the team name that plays there. Okay? So the first one, question 1 of round 2. 90 miles from Molyneux, Wolves hadn't won in 10 visits until the last meeting, which ended up with a 4-0 win. 90 miles from Molyneux, Wolves hadn't won in 10 visits until the last meeting, which ended up with a 4-0 win. I'll give you a clue. It wasn't that long ago, and somebody I mentioned on last week's quiz might have scored. Hello, Peter Turley says, evening, Mikey boy. Hancock's family, first time, both children, very excited. Hello to you. Daventry Wolves in the house. Hello to you. James, I'll answer your question about Ruben Neves' goal a little bit later on, because there have been way too many. If you want to actually hear us talking about that with Ruben Neves, check out Big Match Revisited from the Cardiff game. Ruben talks through his personal top 5 Not too dissimilar to mine. Hello, Jason Payne, as well, by the way. Number 2, then, of the Where Am I round. 149 miles from Molineux. Wolves have only been to this 9,000 all-seater once in the last 30 years, though it turned out to be a good trip as we sealed the League One title there. 149 miles from Molineux, Wolves have only been to this 9,000 all-seater once in the last 30 years, though it turned out to be a good trip. We sealed the League One title here. Where am I? That is question 2 of round 2. Question number 3. 162 miles from Molineux, Wolves have only been to this 21,000 all-seater 3 times, one of which ended 4-4. The last time we went there, it was in the Cup. Where am I? 162 miles from Molineux, Wolves have only been to this 21,000 all-seater 3 times, one of which ended 4-4. The last was in the Cup. Where am I? That's number 3 of round 2. And number 4. 77 miles from Molineux. It holds about 16,500, with away fans being in a sloping stand. The last 3 Wolves winners here have come from Matt Jarvis, Adam Proudlock, and Fernando Gomez. Where am I? 77 miles from Molineux. It holds about 16,500, with away fans being in a sloping stand. The last 3 Wolves winners here have come from Matt Jarvis, Adam Proudlock, and Fernando Gomez. Where am I? Helen Benton, do you really cut Pedro Neto's hair? That's tremendous. In Cosley. Have you seen that he shaved his head for lockdown? Does it look good? I don't know. Maybe I should shave my hair. I've been trying to do the sides myself. Not trimming the beard just yet. Got to keep that going. 2,000 seats. Wolves have only ever scored 5 goals here, 3 of which were by Portuguese players. 36 miles from Molineux, there's only 2,000 seats. Wolves have only ever scored 5 goals here, 3 of which were by Portuguese players. That's number 5 of round 2. I'll give you a moment to have a think about any that you might have missed, and then we'll go through some of the answers.
Ho, 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 it's magic.
You know, Dicko-a-phobie Sacco.
It's magic. You know.
Nua Dicko, by the way, was on the last big match we visited that went out on Monday, the Leeds 4-3 game from Easter Monday a couple of years ago. Well worth a watch on our YouTube channel. Right, let's give you some answers. Round 1, general Wolves knowledge. 1 point for every correct answer in this one. Number 1, in what part of Wolverhampton is the club's training ground located? It is Compton. Compton is the answer to number 1. Number 2, 2 former Wolves players have coached the under-23 team this season. Name them both. They are Rob Edwards and Mark Kennedy. Rob Edwards and Mark Kennedy, the answer to question number 2. 2003 playoff final, beat Sheffield United 3-0. Who was the man of the match? It was Matt Murray. Matt Murray, for his penalty save, picked up the man of the match at Cardiff. Yeah, Millennium Stadium it was back then. Matt Murray, man of the match. And this came in 2009. 6 people were admitted in the first year. I only asked you to name one of them. So listen out. If any of these 6 are on your score sheet, then you get a point. They were Steve Bull, Stan Cullis, Ron Flowers, Jackery Jones, Derek Parkin, and Billy Wright. That's Steve Bull, Stan Cullis, Ron Flowers, Jackery Jones, Derek Parkin, and Billy Wright. I only asked you to name one of them. If you got any of them, then give yourselves a point. And number 5 of round 1, Molineux was redeveloped in the early 90s. The official opening was with a game in December of 1993, and the opponents were Honved. Honved were the opponents for the official opening of the redeveloped Molineux. Of course, a throwback to the floodlit friendlies of the 1950s. Maybe you were there. Who knows? Hopefully, if you were there, you should have got that answer. Honved was the answer to number 5. Right, let me give you the answers to round 2, the Where Am I round. 90 miles from Molineux. Wolves hadn't won in 10 visits until the last meeting, which ended up with a 4-0 win. It included a goal from, yes, Conor Coady. It was the University of Bolton Stadium in Bolton. If you said the Macron or the Reebok Stadium, I'll give that to you. It's now called the University of Bolton Stadium. Burndon Park wasn't a happy place for us. Let's not talk about that. But this was a nice trip. Conor Coady sealing the championship title a couple of years ago. We put that goal out recently, I think, on our social media channels. Number 2, 149 miles from Molineux. Wolves have only been to this 9,000 all-seater once in the last 30 years. Turned out to be a good trip. We sealed the League One title there. It's actually called the Breyer Group Stadium, but it's Brisbane Road, Leyton Orient. If you put Leyton Orient, then give yourselves a point. I think it was the Matchroom Stadium when we were there. It's got a new sponsor. Didn't expect you to know that. But if you got Brisbane Road or Leyton Orient, then you get a point. Number 3, 162 miles from Molineux. Wolves have only been to this 21,000 all-seater 3 times, one of which ended 4-4. The last was in the Cup. I am, of course, talking about the Liberty Stadium, Swansea. Liberty Stadium, Swansea, the answer to number 3 of round 2. Question number 4 of round 2, 77 miles from Molineux. Holds about 16,500. The away fans are in a sloping stand. The last 3 Wolves winners come from Matt Jarvis, Adam Proudlock, and Fernando Gomez. I am, of course, at Prenton Park, Tranmere. Prenton Park, Tranmere, with that weird sloping stand behind the goal. And number 5, 36 miles from Molineux. There is only 2,000 seats. Wolves have only ever scored 5 goals here, 3 of which were by Portuguese players. I am at the Pirelli Stadium, Burton. Pirelli Stadium, Burton was the answer to question 5 of round 2. Let me know how you're getting on so far. Scores out of 10. Hopefully it's not too hard. Hopefully it's not too easy. Thomas wants to see a big match revisited for Man City this season. It's not that long ago, is it? We can't really do a revisited on one from this season. I mean, you can still go back and watch it. Highlights will be on somewhere. There's extended highlights right here on the Wolves YouTube channel. James Speedy's got 7 out of 10. Wayne Millard, 9. John Dabbs, 9. Daventry Wolves, 8 out of 10. Mia's on 5. Jenny's got 3 out of 10. Don't worry, Jenny. Keep going. Steve's got 8. Yolanda the Panda has got 10 out of 10. Robert Blackall's got 9. Wolves Gold and Black has got 8 out of 10. Claire's got 4 out of 7. On my own, hubby left the room. That's disgraceful behaviour. What's he got better to do than this tonight? Unbelievable. Christopher Rogers, 2 out of 10. Keep going, Chris. You'll get some more. Sam Darby's got 9 out of 10 as well. Ian Stevenson's got 7, but thinks it's poor. Come on, mate. 7 out of 10. You're doing all right. Rob Weaver's got 6. Driver Require Tanworth, 5. Not the greatest start here for the Hancock's family. Who else we got? Christopher Rogers joined late. Don't worry, Chris. You'll catch up, mate. Don't worry. Especially if you've got good, super hard knowledge, because that bonus round at the end is worth double points. And you can always pick up points on the music round as well. John Benson was 6 out of 10. Trav got 4 out of 10. He crossed out Leyton Orient. Poor move. Poor move indeed. Right, let's get on with it with round 3. It's the Conor Coady round. 1 point for every correct answer. Here we go. Question number 1 of round 3. Conor signed for Wolves on the 3rd of July 2015 from which club? Conor signed for Wolves on the 3rd of July 2015 from which club? That's question number 1. Should be nice and easy. Number 2. Famously, Conor's last Wolves goal came against Bolton in the promotion season, as we've just been talking about. But against which team did he score his first? His last Wolves goal came against Bolton in the promotion season, but against which team did he score his first? That's question number 2. Question number 3. In his career, for all teams, Conor has scored 9 league goals. But how many of them were at home? Is it A, 0, B, 3, or C, 5? In his career for all teams, Conor has scored 9 league goals, but how many of them were at home? A, 0, B, 3, C, 5. Question number 4. Conor has only been sent off twice in his career, only once for Wolves. So who were the opponents when he was sent off for Wolves? He's only been sent off twice in his career, one of which was while he was a Wolves player. So who were we playing that day when he was sent off in the gold and black? That's question number 4. And question number 5 leads on from that. So since that sending off and the subsequent suspension, Conor has played in every single Wolves league game. How many is it? So since that sending off and the subsequent suspension, Conor's played in every single Wolves league game since. So how many is that in a row that he has played? Give me that number of games that he has played in a row. I think we might have mentioned this on last week's quiz. So if you were paying attention, there's an easy point available for you. I'll give you a moment to have a think, and then we'll move on to round 4. Okay, here we go. Round 4 is chain reaction. I want to know the theme of the chain and what or who is missing. For the missing one, I will simply say X. Number 1, here we go. Crusaders, Punic, X, Braga, Besiktas, and Bratislava. Crusaders, Punic, X, Braga, Besiktas, and Bratislava. Let me know what's missing and what the theme is of that chain. I will give you half a point if you only get one of the 2 things that I'm looking for. You need both to get the full point on this round. Number 2. Bakary Sacco, Nuadico, Benicophobe, X, Diogo Jota, and Raul Jimenez. Bakary Sacco, Nuadico, Benicophobe, X, Diogo Jota, Raul Jimenez. Let me know what the theme of that chain is and who is missing. Simply the mention of Raul Jimenez gets a message from Alejandro, Viva Mexico, Axel, loving Raul Jimenez as well. Number 3 of chain reaction. Graham Hawkins, Graham Turner, Dave Jones, Mick McCarthy, X, Nuno. Graham Hawkins, Graham Turner, Dave Jones, Mick McCarthy, X, Nuno. What's the theme of the chain and who is missing? Number 4 of the chain reaction round. 1987, 1995, 1997, 2002, 2003, X. 1987, 1995, 1997, 2002, 2003, X. What's the theme of the chain and what is missing? Thomas, I would love to do the 6-4 Rotherham game on Big Match Revisited. The only problem is we don't have the full 90 minutes anywhere. We are trying to track it down as best we can, but because we're in League One, kind of the big TV companies didn't record the full game. They just took the goals. So we've kind of got highlights, but we don't have the full 90 minutes anywhere at the minute. We are trying to track it down, though, because obviously it's an amazing game. And number 5, Jeff Thomas, Steve Bull, Ewan Roberts, X, Nathan Blake, Jamie O'Hara. Jeff Thomas, Steve Bull, Ewan Roberts, X, Nathan Blake, and Jamie O'Hara. What's the theme of the chain and who is missing? Let me know your thoughts and then we will get to them in just a minute. Okay, you ready for some answers? Conor Coady round, which was round 3, question 1. I asked you from which club did Conor sign for Wolves from on the 3rd of July 2015? The answer is Huddersfield. Huddersfield, the answer to question 1. Conor's last Wolves goal came against Bolton in the promotion season. Against which team did he score his first? The answer is Crawley. Happened in the League Cup in August 2016. Diving header at the far post, if I remember correctly. Got us through to the next round. Crawley was the answer to question 2. Question number 3. In his career for all teams, Conor scored 9 league goals. How many of them were at home? The answer was A, 0. Conor has never scored a home league goal, though he has scored a goal at Molineux in a league game before. If you can tell me who it was for, I might give you a bonus point. Whack it into the live chat and I'll see who gets there. Question number 4. Conor's only been sent off twice in his career, only once for Wolves. The opponents were Sheffield United. Sheffield United. I think he pulled back Leon Clark after less than 20 minutes of that game. I'll tell you what, Christopher Rogers, John Dabbs, Simon Cox and Ian Gordon, you can all have a bonus point. You were the first lot through to say he scored for Huddersfield as an absolute rocket into the top corner. Sam Darby, he did score an own goal for Huddersfield, but that was at the John Smith Stadium, not at Molineux. And number 5, since that sending off and the subsequent suspension, Conor has played in every single Wolves league game. It's 102 in a row. 102 is the answer I was looking for. So congratulations to you if you got that. We did mention it on last week's quiz. Got to pay attention during these things. Right, round 4, chain reaction. Here come the answers. Crusaders, Punic, X, Braga, Besiktas, and Bratislava. I was looking for Torino, and they are the first 6 Europa League opponents. So Torino and first 6 Europa League opponents. If you just put Europa League opponents, no, not giving it to you. Torino gives you half a point. First 6 Europa League opponents gives you the other half a point. Number 2, Bakary Sacco, Nuadico, Benicofove, X, Diogo Jota, and Raul Jimenez. I was looking for Helder Costa, and they are the last 6 top scorers. Last 6 top scorers, Helder Costa for the full point for number 2. Only half a point if you only got one of the 2 things. Graham Hawkins, Graham Turner, Dave Jones, Mick McCarthy, X, and Nuno. If you add Kenny Jackett into that list, they are the last 6 promotion-winning managers. If you got promotion-winning managers and Kenny Jackett, you get the full point. Only half a point if you only got one of those. Number 4, 1987, 1995, 1997, 2002, and 2003. Add on 2007 to the end, and they are the years that Wolves have competed in the playoffs. 2007 and years competed in the playoffs is the answer to question number 4 of chain reaction. Number 5, Jeff Thomas, Steve Bull, Ewan Roberts, X, Nathan Blake, and Jamie O'Hara. If you add in Adi Akinbaye, they are the last 6 players to score for Wolves at the Hawthorns. Jeff Thomas, Steve Bull, Ewan Roberts, Adi Akinbaye, Nathan Blake, and Jamie O'Hara, the last 6 players to score for Wolves away at West Brom or away at the Hawthorns or at the Hawthorns. If you got that, get half a point. If you got Adi Akinbaye, add it together to give yourself the full points. So, add up your scores so far. Let me know how you're getting on after 4 rounds of this week's quiz. Started off a little bit easier, maybe a little bit tougher in those last couple of ones. Steve Hodgetts, 5, can do better. James on 14. Claire, 2.5 out of 10. You don't need to hang up your Wolves shirt, Claire. Just keep going. You'll believe in yourself. Come on, you can get it. Wayne's got 15. Team Merrick's got 14. Daventry Wolves, 14 out of 20. Rocking Chair Dave's on 6. Hello to you. Jaden's on 8. Alex is on 14. Gemma, no, what are you talking about, Joe? Steve Hodgetts, 12. Rob Weaver, 12. Yolanda the Panda, 18 of 20. Hancock's family, 11.5 in total. John Benton, 10.5. Get in there. Yeah, you're doing all right, mate. Mia's on 11.5. John Dabbs on 17. Shout out to the Masons, 5 out of 20. Keep going. Shatner's Bassoon, brilliant name, 7. Thomas Darby's claiming he's got both 14 and 13. Alfie's got 14. Christopher Rogers, 7.5 out of 20. Need a change in tactics. Your words, not mine. Ian got 12. Taylor, 7 out of 20. Too young for these questions. How dare you? There will be some questions more modern and on this season, so don't worry. You will pick up some points back. If you don't get to the ground very early, you might struggle with the music round, but we'll explain it when we get there in just a second. Ben, if you want to, you can have a bonus point. I'll allow that, Ben Willington. Wolves Gold and Black, 11. Aaron Singh, 11.5. Hi from Austin, Texas, to Just KK. Right, here we go. This is the music round. I will play you 5 songs. I want to know the artist and the song title. I'll give you a point for each. And then at the end, I want you to tell me the odd one out for 2 bonus points. So here come the songs. I want the artist and the song title. This is this week's music round. You might recognize this song. I play it a fair bit. It's a good book. So there you go. Just give me the artist and the song title. I will play it for you one more time. And then I want you to tell me who is the odd one out as well. So this is song 1. Tomo likes this one. Yeah, Say Like, it's my favourite, Say Like. So there you go. That's the music round. You'll get a point for the song title, a point for the artist, and 2 bonus points if you write down which is the odd one out. We'll come back to the answers for that once we've done round 6, which is Name That Game. I'll give you some clues about matches that took place this season. Just tell me who we were playing, and I want to know whether it was home or away. That's a vital piece of information in the game. So if I was to say that Ruben Neves curled one into the corner, Raul Jimenez scored the second, and they had to change the goalkeeper early on, I'd be talking about Aston Villa at home. There's an example for you. That's not a question. I've just given you the answer. So number 1 of round 6, name that game. The opposition scored first. Adama Traore equalised. They scored a late winner. The opposition scored first. Adama Traore equalised. They scored a late winner. Name that game. Who were the opponents? Was it home or away? Number 2 of Name That Game. We lost 1-0. Pedro Neto had a goal disallowed and Oscar Burr came off the bench. Name that game. It's from this season. We lost 1-0. Pedro Neto had a goal disallowed and Oscar Burr came off the bench. Name that game. I know, Alex, saying the opposition scored first doesn't narrow it down. It's happened an awful lot this season. That's why the other 2 clues might be more important. But we will see. Number 3. We were 1-0 up, then 2-1 down, then back to 2-2, all in the space of 16 first half minutes. We were 1-0 up, then 2-1 down, then back to 2-2, all in the space of 16 first half minutes. Name that game. That is number 3 of round 6. Number 4. Romain Saiz was injured early. Neither Doherty or Johnny started, but Patrick Cutrone did. Romain Saiz was injured early. Neither Doherty or Johnny started, but Patrick Cutrone did. Name that game. And number 5 of the Name That Game round. The opposition scored inside 2 minutes. Matt Doherty got a goal and Nuno didn't make any subs. The opposition scored inside 2 minutes. Matt Doherty got a goal. Nuno didn't make any subs. Name that game. That's number 5 of the Name That Game round 6. I'll give you a quick moment. While you think of those, I haven't explained this yet this week. I do have this kind of soundboard with me. Got this bit of equipment kit that allows me to play music out and stuff for you. And I've got these different things. So if you've done really well, I might give you one of these. If I did something funny, I might get one of these. Let's face it, that's not really going to happen. So I might get one of these. But I also do have a countdown. And when this countdown ends, I'll give you the answers to the music round and name that game. Okay, this was the music round. This is, of course, Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. It's played every night game, accompanied by The Light Show. It's All of the Lights by Kanye West. All of the Lights by Kanye West. Now this is a bit rude. It's called Effing in the Bushes by Oasis. Effing in the Bushes. If you wrote the actual swear word, fair play, I can't say it on here. But Effing in the Bushes by Oasis is song 3. This is Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Rule the World by Tears for Fears. And of course, everyone should have got this. It's The Liquidator by Harry J. All-Stars. You might have written Harry Johnson and the All-Stars. I'll accept either. It's Liquidator by Harry J. All Stars or Harry Johnson and the All Stars. That was the music round. So hopefully you did pretty well. The bonus for 2 extra points. The odd one out is Rule the World. All the others either are or were played before the game. Tears for Fears is played after a win. So odd one out is Rule the World. If you got that, give yourself 2 bonus points. Right, round 6 answers. 1 point available for every correct one here. Number 1, the opposition scored first. Adama Traore equalised, and they scored a late winner. It was Spurs at home. Spurs at home is what we were looking for. If you just put Spurs, I'm not going to accept it. I wanted the home or away. So Spurs at home, the answer to number 1. Number 2, we lost 1-0. Pedro Neto had a goal disallowed, and Oscar Burr came off the bench. It was Man United away in the cup. Man United away in the cup. Number 3, we were 1-0 up, then 2-1 down, then back to 2-2, all in the space of 16 mad first half minutes. It was Brighton away. Diego Jota had a hell of a week. I think he'd scored or went on to score a hat-trick. I think he'd scored a couple of days before. So he scored 5 goals in 2 games. Brighton away, the answer. Number 4, Romain Saiz was injured early. Neither Doherty or Johnny started, but Patrick Cutrone did. It was Man City away. Man City away. Neither Doherty or Johnny started. It was Vinagre and Traore as wingbacks, and Cutrone and Jimenez were up top. Both Cutrone and Jimenez missed one-on-ones in that first half. Then under pressure for the second, Adama Traore went up front, and the rest is history. And number 5, the opposition scored inside 2 minutes. Matt Doherty got a goal, and Nuno didn't make any subs. It was Sheffield United at home. Sheffield United at home, the answer to question 5 of round 6. I'll let you add up all your scores so far. Let me know how you are getting on tonight. Ian Stevenson's on 21, as is Wayne Millard. So, Simon, you get 2 points per question in the music round if you got both the artist and the song title. Claire didn't get any in round 6. James Speedy, 23. Sam Darby, 23.5. Shout out for Boca Seniors 6-a-side. There you go, Luke. Team Merrick, 21 so far. Rocking Chair Dave, 16. Mia's got 20.5. Alex Clifford, 22. Meeson, 15. Rob Weaver, 20. Wolves Gold and Black, 15. Simon Cox, 20. Claire's got 12. Keep going. Steve Hodgett's got 24. Alex Bell's got 1. Is that overall? Stick with it. Correction from Team Merrick. They're on 25, apparently. Chris Rogers, 21.5. Taylor Witt on 14. Thomas Darby, 21. John Dabbs, 31. Ted's on 19.5 overall. Jenny's on 13.5. Keep going. John Benton, 20.5, says, thank God my boy can remember the matches. Trust me, right? When we did a practice of this earlier with all the guys in our media team, and there are people in our media team who have been at every single one of the games like I have, and even they didn't get all 5 on that round. So if you got, I'd say 4, you were doing pretty well. 3 doing pretty well, to be fair. You're not having a mare, David Norwood. Keep going, son. Alex, I know you're trying. Keep the faith. Bethany Burt's got 21. Right, here comes round 7. Now, I've made this a little bit easier for you, right? So this is kind of an opportunity to get some points back. If you've not been doing great so far, then, this is your chance. Because basically, it's the 50-50 round. I'll read you out a statement, give you 2 options. All you have to do is pick the right one. You've got a 50-50 chance. So question number 1 of round 7. Who scored the most Wolves goals in the current squad? Is it A, Raul Jimenez, or B, Diogo Jota? Who scored the most Wolves goals in the current squad? A, Raul Jimenez, or B, Diogo Jota? That's question 1 of round 7. Number 2. Who is the oldest member of Wolves' current first team squad? Is it A, John Ruddy, or B, João Moutinho? Who's the oldest member of Wolves' current first team squad? A, John Ruddy, or B, João Moutinho? So 50-50 chance. Hello to Emma Beach, 16 for her and her dad. Remember, don't put the answers into the live chat, people. Write them down. Don't spoil it for everybody else. Number 3. Which competition have Wolves been runners-up in more times? Is it A, the Football League, or B, the FA Cup? Which competition have Wolves been runners-up in more times? Is it A, the Football League, or B, the FA Cup? That's question number 3 of round 7. Question number 4. Kenny Miller and Sylvan Ebanks-Blake have both scored goals to help Wolves get promoted, but which of them scored the most Wolves goals during their times at the club? Was it A, Kenny Miller, or B, Sylvan Ebanks-Blake? Kenny Miller and Sylvan Ebanks-Blake both scored goals to help Wolves get promoted. Both had pretty decent Wolves careers. Sylvan's maybe stronger at the start, tailed off a bit with injuries. Kenny, fairly consistent all the way through, really. So who scored the most? A, Kenny Miller, or B, Sylvan Ebanks-Blake? And question number 5. Kenny Jackett and Ronnie Allen both managed Wolves for exactly 150 games. But who won the most? Was it A, Kenny Jackett, or B, Ronnie Allen? For the youngsters amongst you, Ronnie Allen was in charge between 1965 and 1968. Wolves were pretty decent in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. If you don't believe me, ask your parents or your grandparents. I'm not quite old enough to remember it, but I do have parents who do. And I've obviously done a lot of Wolves history over the last couple of years. So Wolves were pretty good during this period. But Kenny had the League One season. So who, between A, Kenny Jackett, or B, Ronnie Allen, won the most games? That's question 5 of round 7, the 50-50 round. And we move on to the final round of the quiz. It is round 8, the super hard round. You get 2 points for every one of these that you get correct, because in not just my opinion, but the opinion of the Wolves media team, these are the hardest questions that I'm going to pose to you this week. So if you've not done that well so far, you might get a brainwave and something might come to you during this. So stay with us. Number 1. In 1973, Wolves drew with Newcastle at Molineux. Both scorers were named Hibbett. Kenny for Wolves and his brother Terry for the Toon. Now, that's only happened once more in Wolves history since then, where 2 brothers have been on the score sheet in the same game for either side, one for Wolves and one for the opponents. What I want you to do is name those brothers. So in 1973, Wolves drew with Newcastle. Kenny Hibbett scored for Wolves. Terry Hibbett scored for Newcastle. Brothers scoring in the same game for different teams has only happened once more in Wolves history since then. I want you to name those brothers, and I will not just accept the surname. I want their actual Christian names as well, please. That's question number 1 of the super hard round. I'll give you a clue. It happened in the last 20 years. That's a clue. Happened in the last 20 years. Up until the 21st century, Wolves had only ever fielded 3 players whose surname began with the letter I. Then in 2002-2003, that number doubled as 3 players with a surname beginning with the letter I all featured that season. Name me those 3 players. So up until the 21st century, only ever been 3 players in Wolves history whose surname began with I. And then come 2002-2003, there were 3 players that season. Name those 3 players. That's question number 2 of the super hard round. I might allow you half a point if you get 2 of the 3, but you're going to have to get all 3 to get the full point, get the full 2 points on this one. I'm not going to give you 1 point for 2. I'll allow you half a point, but you'll get 2 points if you can get all 3. Can't be more generous than that. I mean, I could, but I won't. I don't want to. Number 3. The winter of 1963 was so cold in England that Wolves were only able to play 4 matches between December and March. In order to keep fit, the club arranged some friendlies. They were against Coventry, by the way. But what country were they played in? So the winter of 1963 was so cold in England, Wolves only played 4 times in about 3.5 months. So to keep fit, they arranged some friendlies. But what country did they play those friendlies in? Question number 4. In the whole history of the club, only 2 Wolves players have been named as Footballer of the Year. Can you name them? I want them both to get the full 2 points. In the whole history of the club, only 2 Wolves players have been named as Footballer of the Year. Can you name them? I might allow you 1 point if you can get 1, but you're going to need both to get the full 2 points. I've got to stop being so generous. And number 5, cup final songs have sadly gone out of fashion in recent years. But in 1980, Wolves players did release a single for getting to the League Cup final. So what was it called? Cup final songs have sadly gone out of fashion in recent years. But in 1980, Wolves released one. What was it called? That is the answer. That's the question for round 5. Number 5 of round 8. I've had too many of these. I'll give you a moment to have a think about some of those. Frosty Wiz, I'm not going to make you prove your spelling of one of those names. Don't worry. Right. Let's give you some answers. Round 7, the 50-50 round. I asked you who'd scored the most Wolves goals in the current squad. The answer is B, Diogo Jota. He is on 43. Raul Jimenez on 39. The oldest member of the Wolves' current first team squad, it is B, João Matinho. Both are 33 years old, but João was born on the 8th of September 1986. John Ruddy born on the 24th of October. Thomas, we think they played Minder when Dave Edwards scored. He thinks, and I've asked him this, because there was a character called Dave the Barman who was played by an actor with the surname Edwards. Sounds ridiculous. That's what he told me. That's why they played Minder when Dave Edwards scored. Like 2009, 2008? Anyway, back to the quiz. Number 3, which competition have Wolves been runners-up in more times? Was it A, the Football League, or B, the FA Cup? The answer was A, the Football League, 5 times to 4. 4 times Wolves have been FA Cup runners-up, 5 times runners-up in the Football League. So if you put A, the Football League, you are correct. Number 4, Kenny Miller and Sylvan Ebanks-Blake have both scored goals to help get Wolves promoted. But which of them has scored the most Wolves goals? The answer was B, Sylvan Ebanks-Blake. Only by 1 goal, though. 64 for Sylvan, 63 to Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller, by the way, was one of our guests on Big Match Revisited when we look back at the Leicester comeback in 2003. That, again, is available for you to watch right here on the Wolves YouTube channel. And number 5, Kenny Jackett and Ronnie Allen. Both managed Wolves for exactly 150 games, but who won the most? The answer was A, Kenny Jackett. 69 wins to Ronnie Allen's 66. So the answer was A, Kenny Jackett. Right. Let's get serious here. Round 8. The super hard round, okay? 2 points available per answer. Now, I was a little bit more generous in this, so let's see how you did. Question 1 was all about brothers who have scored in the same game for opposing teams. Kenny and Terry Hibbett had done it at Wolves v Newcastle in the 70s. I was looking for Carl and Leon Court. Hull 2, Wolves 3, February 2006. Carl and Leon Court. 2 points if you got both of those names. And I didn't just want you to put the Courts, Carl and Leon, most important to that question. Number 2 of round 8. Up until the 21st century, Wolves had only ever fielded 3 players whose surname began with the letter I. Then 3 came along in one season. They were Paul Ince, Dennis Irwin, and Ivar Ingemarson. Ivar Ingemarson. If you got all 3, then you get 2 points. If you only got 2 of those, I'll let you have half a point. Number 3, the winter of 1963 was so cold in England, the Wolves were only able to play 4 matches between December and March. So they played some friendlies against Coventry, and they took place in Ireland. Ireland was the country that those friendlies took place in. Cork, I believe, was where they were actually played. They might have done one in Belfast, but majority were in Cork in Ireland. Number 4, in the whole history of the club, only 2 Wolves players have been named as Footballer of the Year. Asked you to name them. They were Billy Wright and Bill Slater. Billy Wright in 1952 and Bill Slater in 1960. You didn't need to get the years. I just wanted Billy Wright and Bill Slater. If you got both of those names, you get 2 points. I'll let you have 1 point if you only got one of them. I'm being very generous tonight. And the final question of the quiz, Cup final songs. Wolves released one in 1980. It was called Wonderful Wolves. Wonderful Wolves was the name of Wolves' 1980 League Cup final single. Congratulations to you if you got that. Give yourself 2 points for it. tot up your scores. Let me know how you did, and hopefully there's some good scores in there. Steve Hodgett's got 30. Happy with that. Well done to you, Steve. James Speedy, 35. Team Merrick, 31.5. Hancock's family ended on 31. Thomas got 26.5. Alex Clifford got 27. Rocking Chair Dave, 28. Thanks to the last round. See, I told you, we're sticking with it. Alex got one right from that final round. Well done to you. John Dabbs, 38. Last round killed you. Yeah, it would have done for a lot of people. Sam Darby, 34. Taylor Witt, 22. John Benton, 27.5. We'll take that. 25.5. Worse than last week for Mia. David Norwood, 19. Better luck next week. It's his words, not mine. Although I do wish you better luck next week. Taylor wants a modern quiz. See, you can't please everyone, can you? There was loads of stuff in there. Conor Coady, Where Am I is pretty modern. Some chain reaction stuff. Name That Game is all about this season. The music that's played at Molineux. What more do you want? Ian Stevenson, 31. Boca Seniors, 36.5. Claire got 22.5 in the end. Well done to you. Sam got 17. Stick with it, Sam. Lee got 48. Lee Smith, congratulations to you. Jack Hansher got 38. Madison says, can we have whose goal was that? I might do a who scored. So, yeah, if you enjoyed it this week, then hopefully we'll be back next week. Let us know on the Wolves social media channels, as ever, what you thought of the quiz and any thoughts you have, any suggestions for quiz topics. And basically just get in touch and say hello, because I know it is difficult at this time. I'm sat here in my house on my own. You might be on your own. You might be with family, but you might be struggling in whatever way that you are. So just know that we are all thinking of you. We're all in this together. Stay home, stay safe, look after each other. And when the time is right, and it isn't really right at the minute, let's face it, but when the time is right, we will be back. We'll all be together again, and Wolves will be playing again. Whatever you're doing, look after yourselves. See you soon. And enjoy some of the liquidator. Well done, everyone. Speak soon.